And you guys are seeing this? Yes, you are. Means we are ready to go. Okay, new game. Relaxed. Relaxed difficulty is for players who are new to real-time with pause combat or find classic difficulty a little too challenging. And classic is people who want Deadfire standard combat challenge. I think I will go with relaxed. Level scaling. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I think we will do it this way. And let's start the game. Great part is the entire Critical Role cast is in this, so it's going to be fun trying to pick them out because they're talented voice actors. Some of them can bend their voice to where you have no idea who they even are, so this will be fun.
Eora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel.
Ashley Johnson.
Cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods.
She's clearly our DM for this one, so to speak.
A mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Dyrwood. A nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of Hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a Watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
I feel a butt coming on.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep?
Hey, Matt.
Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. That maybe the gods weren't finished with us. I used to dream that when my God came back, he would forgive us. Last the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
And so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories, You have been here before.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
I think that's Laura. Not sure, but I think.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? Hmm? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many
It's her literally dungeon mastering this. This is glorious.
shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Sit. Please. Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She is preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
Okay. Benevolent Soul. In Pillars of Eternity, you return the lost Hollowborn souls to the Dryward's children as you has pledged to Hylia. You were, I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably not, but you were kind and merciful to people you encountered, sympathetic to their pain and charitable to those who needed help. Fair and balanced. You returned the lost Hollowborn souls to the wheel as you pledged to... Okay, the first one is returning it to the children. The second one is returning them to the wheel. Most other choices were judicious and balanced, tempered by rational thought and fairness rather than sympathy or emotion. You used the souls of the Hollowborn to strengthen the Dryerwood as you'd pledged to Gallowin. Most other choices were made to strengthen you and your allies while punishing and weakening your enemies. You consigned the souls of the Hollowborn to Oblivion, as you'd pledged to Remigand. You left a wake of physical destruction and spiritual annihilation wherever you went, seeking to bring a final end to all things. You pledged to consign the souls of the Hollowborn to oblivion, as Raymond requested, but you ultimately gave the souls to Wodica. You supported maintaining the god's secrets as well as your own, and then everything bad. You did everything wrong. You pledged to do the bidding of every god and then scattered the souls of the Hollowborn to a random location. You got every companion killed. You got the worst outcome for every quest. If there's a mistake you could have made while still resolving the Hollowborn crisis, you made it. Not suggested for new players. Honestly, I'm going to do my bleeding heart of myself, and I'm going to go with Benevolent Soul on this one.
Everything appear to be in order? Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bera. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge.
That's a neat concept just in and of itself right there.
The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
I spoke with other gods in the Hall of Stars and pledged myself to them.
You did.
She places a card on the table, showing a tall tower with the gods' constellations arrayed around it in the sky. She places a card in the middle of the arrangement, a bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Eothas. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Eothas stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Am I dead?
No. But neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a Hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
Well, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people around it.
I know. It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnua and your surrounding lands. Their souls remain in Eothas still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
Then let's get on with it.
Before you return to Eora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Character creation! Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna go male on this one. I was thinking about going female, but I think I am gonna go male with this one. Okay, now this one's gonna take time because this is creating a character, so work with me here, guys. Amuna. The mighty Amuna are the largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rosati, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. Dwarfs. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in Dryerwood, the Villian republics, and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity, +2 might, +1 constitution, and -1 dexterity. This is very D&D. Elves. Elves are the dominant race in Ir Galfaf, and the white that wins and the white that wins, and are extremely common in the Dryerwood and Ediar. All these fantasy names. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as commonly isolationist nature. +1 dexterity, +1 perception. Godlike. The godlike are children of the Kith, civilized races, who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. +1 dexterity, +1 intellect. Human, commonly called folk, are the most common race in the Dryerwood and Adar Empire, Old Valia, and the Valian Republics. Though not as large as the towering Enuma, humans are known for their strength and willpower. +1 might, +1 resolve. And then finally, Orlin. Orlins are the smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and their hirsute bodies. Orlins are commonly found in Irgalavanth and Exomalsi Plains, and parts of Dryerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. -1 might, but +2 perception and +1 resolve. So, who am I going to be? If I were going with more of a fighter, it would probably be an Amana. You know what? I'm going to go with an elf, but I think I know why. There's one class in a game that I've never really done before, although the last time I played a game like this, it was all the way back in the day in Neverwinter Nights, and I know the class that I played, and I'm going to see how far I can get down the rabbit hole with this one. Let's see. So my subrace, Pale Elf. It's unclear how long ago the Pale Elves, Gamfelin, came to the southern polar regions of the world, but they have lived there for at least 12,000 years, based on their continuous contact with Amara traders. They are one of the most stationary ethnic groups in the known world, migrating within the polar region, but seldom venturing far north. They are rare in northern lands, and most people consider them exotic if they have seen one at all. +1 dexterity, +1 perception, and elemental endurance. The Pale Elves' long history of living in inhospitable climates have given them an inherent resistance to burn and freeze damage. Or, that could be a Wood Elf. Wood Elves trace their beginnings far north of present-day Adir and have migrated south through the forest and jungles of the continent. Much of their history is connected with the Meadow Folk, and they are often found in the same lands Some historians believe that Wood Elves migrated to Irgalavanth at some point in the past, though Adir and Galifan elves are wholly different culturally. They are rarely found outside of Adir and Eastern Reach. +1 dexterity, +1 perception, and Wily Step. Wood Elves have natural resistance towards dexterity afflictions. I'm going to go with a Pale Elf. And I'm going to make it single class instead of multi-class. Let's look at all these before I go with the one I'm thinking of, but I'm pretty sure. Barbarian, so it's +2 intimidate, survival, athletics, stealth, and history. Let's see, what's a chanter? Resource, phrases. In every culture across Anora, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be most ancient workers of magic. Their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, they're just time-honored part of local folk traditions. Huh. That might be interesting, actually. +2 to bluff, history, arcana, sleight of hand, and diplomacy. Because, you got rangers, priest, rogues, all the stuff like normal. But what's a cipher? Resource, a chanter is support and crowd control. A cipher is crowd control and striker. Strikers are unequaled in their ability to inflict large amounts of damage and crippling afflictions to single targets. Resource focus. A recent discovery in the Eastern Reach, ciphers were once called Bergschwen, mind hunters, by the Galfanans. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but they're generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. So +2 to insight, metaphysics, sleight of hand, mechanics, and bluff. That feels like a magician to me. That genuinely feels like a magician to me. Guess who just changed his mind about what he was going to be? I'm going to be a freaking cipher, people. Let's do this. Let's see, and we've got the whole, it shows the ability tree and everything like that. Choose to have no subclass and therefore incur neither additional class benefits nor penalties. Abundant. Or Ascendant, rather. Ascendant ciphers train to use their powers when they're at full focus. They can make their powers devastating when they're fully unleashed, but leaves them underpowered in other circumstances. Whether earned or not, Ascendants have the reputation for being cocky and overconfident. Bonus. Mass focus is increased. Reaching mass focus grants the Ascended effect temporarily, increasing power level and reducing power focus cost to 0. Soul Whip does not turn off while Ascend, and provides more bonus damage during Ascended. Penalty. While not Ascended, receive a penalty to cipher power level. While not Ascended, Soul Whip does much less damage, but will generate more focus. When Ascended fades, focus is reduced to 0. Beguiler. Beguilers emphasize the mind-bending powers of ciphers, relying on deception and illusion to defeat their enemies. Some beguilers are known for their odd sense of humor, love of riddles, and fondness for Whale, god of dreams and secrets. Bonus. All deception cipher spells have increased range. Deception cipher spells restore focus when successfully cast on enemies that are vulnerable to sneak attack. Penalty. Soul Whip provides less bonus damage and reduced focus against targets that are not vulnerable to sneak attack. Finally, Soul Blade. Soul Blades focus all their energy on offensive powers and use of their Soul Whip. Among ciphers, they are known for their aggression and short tempers, though not all Soul Blades have such hostile disposition. Bonus, gains Soul Annihilation ability, a soul-enhanced melee strike that consumes the cipher's remaining power pool and converts it into raw damage on the target. Shred cipher spells cost less focus. Downing an enemy with a melee weapon temporarily gains concentration and raises max focus. Penalty, max focus is reduced. Combat starting amount as well. Let's see here. I'm very tempted to go with that Beguiler. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Beguiler. Why not? Okay, so I got to choose one. Okay, so I probably need to go for the deception ones. Okay, so that... Whisper of Treason feels like it. The cipher bends the mind of an enemy to their will, charming them for the duration. Deception Mind, cast time 3.0 seconds, recovery time 3.0 seconds, range, and noise is loud. Yeah. Okay, so perception and dexterity are highly recommended for ciphers, while normally recommended are might and intellect. Okay, so yeah, okay. I'm going to go with that. I'll have some weaknesses, but this is how it works when you're putting a character together. Where are you from? I wish you could view this stuff that I've already picked. That way I could know things that I might be able to do here. I'm speed reading now, guys, by the way. That's why I'm not reading it out loud, because I've realized I've taken about 30 minutes on this already, and I want to get you guys to the game. So now we've pulled out the stops, and I'm speed reading it. Although I'll tell you a secret, if it hadn't had that intro thing that I thought you guys needed to see, I probably would have went ahead and created my character, had him just laid out for you guys, and then started the game. But that intro was interesting, and I thought kind of important, so... Yeah, given the various places. If I'm reading this correctly, it's got a bunch, myriad of climates, biomes that are home to a bewildering array of creatures the last century. Ambitious colonial traders, explorers, pirates, and dead. To the dead fire, but okay. I think I will go with Edyar, because this is a mainly elvish place and stuff like that, so that fits. What was your job? You never quite fit in no matter where you go. Each new town is just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You're more comfortable on the road, traveling the world. Sleight of hand, bluff, streetwise. Yeah, because these other ones don't fit for what I am now feeling for this guy. So, yeah. Drifter it is. Okay. Weapon proficiencies, huh? Okay. Proficiency in a weapon or shield grants access to a... Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, so there's no penalty for using a weapon without corresponding proficiency. A character who's not proficient in a weapon only loses access to associated modal abilities. Okay, so yeah, we'll take that wand. And then I think... I need to have a sword. Some sort. Yeah, that'll work. Because I'm not going with greatsword or anything like that, so... Would you look who that is? Yeah, I got the Critical Role pack installed in here too, so... think I'll stick mainly with that because that actually fits him pretty dang well. So we'll stick with that. And yeah, I actually like the head that they've given me for him and everything too, so.
Nothing will slip past me.
Look at that.
After him! Yeah!
Attack! Kill them all!
I'll teach you a lesson. Take them down.
This is my favorite part!
Shall we begin? I'll report back to you. I will do my utmost to keep you all from embarrassing yourselves.
Time to fist the wound!
You don't want them to see me? Huh, that's cold.
You need me, don't you? There ain't no party like a Scanlan in your party because a Scanlan in your party makes you criminally complicit.
Oh, that's glorious.
Once more into the breach.
Another for the Queen. I am your eyes and ears. Show me. You seriously want me to lead? Well, this is going to be an interesting night.
Well, if you insist, I won't be gone long. At your service.
Show them how it's done.
I'll take a peek. Hey there. I got this. I got this.
I think I'll go with smooth. I want to go with one of the fan ones, but honestly, I'm just, for this, it's going to be distracting for me if I do that. So there'll be other characters to make and stuff like that. So. You know what? Almost would, but yeah, let's go with average for this one. I have a name generator. I'm going to use it. I've got it for because I'm going to DM for some people, and I know at some point I'm going to need a freaking name. So let's see here. Arthur or Clark? Arthur or Clark? Clark, I think. There we go.
Watcher is my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you, to open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
A chime. Do not fear, Harold. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust you when it comes to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
Make a deal with God. Of course, it's going to make sure that you don't screw it over. I love the design of this place. This is a nice little detail right here.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Adair watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts. His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
Who are you?
Me? You don't remember?
Adair points at his face, which he seems to be arranging into his most recognizable expression. Receiving no response, he shrugs.
I'm the captain of this boat, and I was real big back in Deerwood. Had this keep called Cadnua. I was famous, and I was what you'd call a watcher. I'd go around talking to dead folks and creeping out just about everyone who saw.
He holds up his hands with fingers curled to mimic claws.
You're just some farmer. Likes to follow me around. Take most of the beating for me when we get attacked. Don't worry, it'll all come back.
Very funny.
Ah, see? You remember. Anyway, you didn't answer my question. How you feeling?
Alive.
Alive's a big improvement.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cadnua.
Cadnua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. And even then, just barely. The further Aethys withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire Archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul, and proximity to it has brought you back.
I know.
How could you know all that? You've been faking on us.
He pokes at your shoulder with one finger.
Misfortune's brewing topside. Magrants fires the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He indicates a nearby wardrobe.
There's the wardrobe. Okay, so sword, wand, mail armor.
All right, now make some use of it.
If you click on an item in your inventory to pick it up. You can place it in any highlighted slot to equip it. You can double-click items to automatically equip them. There's my main weapon and my offhanded weapon. Okay.
The pirates of Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly.
Okay.
Well, what have we here? A little sloop? Lost and alone in the storm?
A surly, brutish-looking captain stands stiff-backed before his crew. He scowls as he assesses you, his hair whipping about, his ears in the wind.
I'll be taking your ship now, if you don't mind. And especially if you do.
Oh, pick the wrong person here.
Well, at least he asked.
I am a gentleman of fortune.
The captain shrugs in the sheeting rain before pinning you with a slow, murderous grin.
Give her up easy, and I'll see you get a swift death. It'll be bloody and agonizing, sure. But at least it'll be quick.
I don't have any quarrel with you. Why do you want my ship?
Why complicate this with a quarrel? I see, I want, I take. It's as
You have gained a reputation and a disposition. Dispositions represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations sometimes bring out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity 2. To see icons for effects of dialogue decisions on disposition, enable the show personality/reputation option in the difficulty settings.
simple as that. Now then. Me and my mates will be helping ourselves to your ship. There's no need to see her sunk by the storms. Or my culverins.
With a grunt, he nods towards the port cannons.
Listen up, mates.
He cracks his neck as he addresses the crew.
I'm off to spear me a bigger fish. One with sharper teeth like. I'm trusting you lot not to cock this up. Don't damage the sloop when you take it. Play with the crew if you'd like, but don't bring me any prisoners. None that are alive.
You had bandwidth! After him!
Okay, great thing about these things is that you can pause and sort of plan how you're going to do this. Characters with red selection circle are hostile to you. To attack an enemy with your currently equipped weapon, click their selection circle. You can also select the sword button in the lower center of the screen to put the cursor into attack state. This will allow you to attack anyone, even friendly characters. But why would you do that?
Defend the ship! Storm's picking up! Take cover!
You've defeated the pirates, but you're not out of trouble yet. The storm picks up, lashing your ship and driving you dangerously close to a rocky shore. The Defiant's crew hurries to reduce sail and batten down the hatches. They work quickly, but the ship is still listing heavily. Just then, a loose crate tumbles towards you, gathering speed on the rain-slicked deck. It misses you, but knocks Shippity, one of your deckhands, off his feet. The Defiant heaves. Shippity pitches over the side. He grabs onto the rail, but his fingers are slipping. He cries out for help. Meanwhile, the runaway crate trotters on the edge of the deck, ready to plunge overboard. You recognize the symbol from the punt on the front as you realize it likely contains the salvage from Caed Nua, your keep. Rescue him or save the crate. I say a human life is way more than my stuff. You grab Shipatit's arm just as his grip fails. For a tense moment, he hangs suspended over rolling sea. Then with a mighty tug, you pull him back onto the deck. You hear a heavy splash. The crate from Caed Nua is gone. Chiperic, meanwhile, nods in gratitude and hurries to his station. Meanwhile, the storm has nearly driven you ashore. A flash of lightning reveals the treacherous coastline and Eothas striding into the distance. A lookout barely has time to shout a warning before the Defiant runs aground. The impact hurls you from the deck and into the froth of waves, bodies, and splintering debris. You struggle towards the beach just ahead. Even as the surf tugs you towards the open sea, you kick and paddle with all your might until at least you feel the sand between your fingers. Pulling yourself ashore, you collapse.
Getting a lot of sleep so far on this trip. I'd have woke you, but you look so peaceful with your face in the sand.
Edir runs his fingers through his hair and removes a strand of seaweed he finds lodged there. He examines it closely, then tosses it into the sand.
If you're worried about the ship, you can stop worrying. It's wrecked right over there.
He points out the Defiant, despite it being difficult to miss from your vantage point.
It's just you and me and the chair lady over there.
Idir nods towards something further up the beach.
It's a relief to see you awake, my lord. I worried you were in for another long sleep.
Your steward appears to be lodged between some rocks. Despite this, her tone is warmly cheerful. What happened?
Ran aground, looks like. Statue headed inland. Guess he had business here. Or he needed directions.
I do sense a few survivors close by. The rest. You could give them guidance, but they are beyond any other help. That is, assuming this experience has not diminished your abilities as a watcher. If you can see the souls of our dead and speak to them, it would be a great comfort.
The view's better than I would have thought. Better go see if they're all right.
Let's get going.
Let's see about the other survivors. And somehow we gotta get the ship repaired. I don't want to be paddling out of here on a salvage raft.
For now, I'd say your best bet is to find some sign of civilization. If nothing else, we may be able to hire on a shipwright. My lord, if it is not too taxing, could you explain how it came to pass that you were returned to us?
I love this one because this has a sense of humor to it. But my soul passed into the beyond, and Bareth gave me a choice: find Eothas or die. Let's see. It's one or two.
These gods. You make one deal with them to stop a madman, and the next thing you know, they're threatening your soul.
That isn't much of a choice. But castle or no castle, you are still my lord, and I will aid you to the best of my ability.
As you receive quests, your journal will update with relevant information. If you're ever stuck, open it to review your notes by pressing the journal button on the lower center of the screen or the J key. Some quests you receive may be challenging until your character has achieved a higher level. A quest that is beyond your character's current level will be marked in your journal with a 1 with 1, 2, or 3 skulls. 1 for every level. If a quest is more than 3 levels above your character's current level, the skulls will appear red.
Well, I suppose we better get a move on.
Let's go. To select a party member, click on their selection circle, their portrait, or press the number button that corresponds to their position in the party, starting with 1 at the left. To select multiple party members, click and hold anywhere on the screen and drag the marquee over the circles of the party members you'd like to include. To select an entire party, press the button on the lower center of the screen or the backspace key. Okay. Choose the single class or multi-class for this companion. This choice cannot be changed later. Fighter, rogue, or fighter and rogue. Multi-class characters are not recommended for new players. So in this case, I think, considering I'm probably going to be in the back and stuff like that, I probably need a fighter more than I do a rogue. So. Okay, so. Okay, to hunt a god. In the aftermath of this, any chance of catching up on him? So we need to explore the island, seek out means of repairing the ship, and search for the members of my crew. So let's do that.
Help! Somebody! Per con Blanca!
Watching. Consider it.
The Defiant is looking far worse for wear after its unexpected landfall. The hull has splintered in several places along the keel, while the tattered sails stand as evidence of your battle with the pirates. The deck of the Defiant is well out of reach from here. The ship groans like a beached whale each time the waves roll in, but it doesn't seem to be listing further. You may be able to climb up. Scale the hull by hand, rope and grappling hook, which I don't have, or stay put for now. Athletics. Adventuring is tiring work. In addition to the hazards of mortal combat, adventurers have walls to climb, rivers to cross, and pits to leap over. Once per encounter, characters with athletics can use the Second Wind ability to recover lost health. A higher athletics score increases the effect of Second Wind. In conversations and scripted interactions, athletics is used for physical feats like climbing, swimming, and jumping. Made the roll. You climb nimbly up the side of the ship and reach the top without so much as breaking a sweat. Idar is not far behind, pulling himself up over the railing beside you.
You're looking better, Casita. That, or I'm worse off than I thought.
The sheen of sweat on her brow and the wand cast to her features bellies Irea's usual greeting.
It's my leg, Matico. It hurts even worse than it looks.
Irina's leg blares a bloody gouge along the length of her shin, and the swelling around her knee suggests a nasty break. Craft a splint from some debris. I'll patch you up best I can, but I want you to stay off this leg as much as possible.
I wasn't planning on going for a run, Casita.
Irina watches you work with obvious relief. Once you're through, she gives the leg a tentative stretch.
It still hurts, but I can manage from here. Agrasima, have you found any of the others yet?
Not yet.
I'll start a fire. If any of the others are out there, hopefully they'll see it and turn up.
Yeah? Be right there. Yeah. Give me a real challenge.
Oh, rope and grappling hook. I'll be danged. It was right there. Okay. Oh, well, I made the roll anyway, and I was fine, so. Oh, we found one. Okay.
Hope the rest of those sodden bastards made it. Watch and learn.
Hey, fancy seeing you here.
The spirit's voice warps and shifts, muted as if by great distance. Even so, he grins brightly at you.
I can't see much of anything, really, apart from you. Just endless gray. What happened?
I'm afraid you didn't make it.
It's weird. I thought death would be different. Big light and so on. But I don't see anything at all. Just you.
Berith charged me with guiding souls to the afterlife, so I suppose you're my responsibility now.
Oh. Suppose that sounds nice enough. I'll follow you then, shall I?
Come along, then. The spirit falls into step behind you, radiating cheer.
Seeing ghosts, huh? I suppose you're stuck with that.
We've got company.
Suey! Suey!
All characters in the game have 4 defenses against attacks: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. These defenses are based on their attributes, level, items, and other effects. The more powerful the character, the higher their defenses will be, and the harder they will be to hit or affect with other abilities. The attack roll is a random number between 1 and 100, which is added to the difference between the attack's accuracy and the targeted defense. If accuracy is less than the defense, the attack roll suffers a penalty. If accuracy is greater than the defense, the attack roll gains a bonus. A higher final attack roll is always better. 0 minus 24 equals miss. 24 minus 49, graze. 0 through 24 equals a miss. 24 through 49 equals a graze. 50 through 99 equals a hit. 100 plus, a critical hit. A miss has no effect. A hit has the standard listed effect. A graze does less damage and has shorter duration for effects. A crit does more damage and has higher penetration and longer duration for effects.
Sure.
Is that ye?
Eld Ingram appears to be in sound condition, though his wax jacket is soaked through. He appraises you with bleary-eyed amusement.
You woke just in time for the fun. Fighting off motherless raiders one moment, flung into the freezing depths of Ondra's bosom the next.
Ingram's eye twitches as he flashes a smile notable for its extraordinary absence of teeth.
Aye. Magran learns us poor bastards that a little excitement's good for the heart.
The last Magnar Knight to travel with me almost went mad because of his goddess's trials.
Aye, but almost mad ain't fully mad. Ah, old Durance. The goddess shan't forge another like him in our lives, Captain.
Can we go back on the ship now?
Vela rocks back and forth on the heels of her feet, watching you both. Vela, don't let Ingram be a bad influence while I'm gone.
That's unkind. You're the one decided to pluck this wean from the wilds of Aer Glanfith. Blame that stone steward of yours for bringing the furry maid along.
Uncle Ingram, you promised me ale.
Later, sweetie. Uncle Ingram's thirsty too.
He absent-mindedly taps on his chest near his heart, sounding the thunk of something metal beneath the priest's jacket.
Watcher, over here. It is good to see you well, Watcher. I believe the Boars were hoping for easy meat.
Chittapek greets you with a relieved nod and checks the pistol at his hip.
The bosun, Beadle, is in that cave over there. Ran in after a boar. Stubborn old dwarf.
What happened?
After we made landfall, you mean? I woke and Beadle was close by, swearing fit to bring Ondra's wrath upon us a second time. We began to search for supplies. I came over this way in hopes of gathering some of that blood moss over there. I thought it might be of use. I imagine the Boars had the same idea.
So why are you out here?
I was able to calm one of the Boars with a spell. For a time, at least. By the time I was through, I had lost sight of Beadle. I remained here, hoping he would return quickly. He has not.
I'll look for Beadle.
I will make for the campfire. I must get this pistol cleaned if it's going to be of any use. Be careful in there, Captain.
Could have sworn I saw myself able to select something, but okay. Let's go into the sea cave. Press the button in the lower center of the screen, or use the Alt key to have the selected characters enter or exit stealth.
Easy does it.
I guess we're not the first to head this way.
I got this. I got this.
You have found an ingredient. Ingredients can be used to enchant unique weapons, armor, and shields, as well as craft food, scrolls, potions, and other items. Flint and tinder, torch, hardtack. Haha, okay. Those are useful items. I thought I would be inventory. Okay. Each character has their own ability bar that holds all their active abilities, including spells, powers, invocations, etc. To use an ability, click it. Some abilities automatically target the user, but most require you to specify a target by clicking on it. Some abilities target an area of effect, AoE. The most common area of effect is a circle. If an area of effect is displayed as two circles, one larger than the other, friendly characters caught in the margin in between the circles will never be harmed by it. It's always a safe zone. Most abilities draw power from a resource unique to each character class. Barbarian, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, and Rogue abilities draw from a pool that is full at the start of every combat. Each ability subtracts a cost from that resource until it's entirely exhausted. Unlike Barbarians and Fighters, Druids, Priests, and Wizards do not have a common resource pool for all of their abilities. Instead, in each fight, they can cast a number of spells from each spell level they have access to. Chanters, Ciphers, and Monks start with a fraction of their total resource pool and must build it up over time in each fight. Each class gains their resource in a different way. Unlike all other classes, they can continue to replenish their resources throughout a fight. When a character in stealth enters the hearing radius or vision cone of a bystander, the bystander will start to detect him. The rate of detection is determined by the character's stealth skill and the level of the bystander, and it is faster in the vision cone than the hearing radius. You can hover your cursor over any character while in stealth to see their hearing radius and vision cone. Some items, such as noisemakers, can be used to distract and move bystanders while you explore in stealth.
Mm-hmm. I got this. Hey.
Yeah, it's sauce.
I'll teach you a lesson. Try something else.
One of your characters has been engaged in melee. If an engaged character moves away from the character engaging them, they will provoke a disengagement attack. An interrupt, such as a fighter's knockdown, can break engagement to allow a safe exit. Some abilities, such as the Rogue's Escape, allow a character to get away without provoking a disengagement attack.
Give me a real challenge. Looks like trouble.
Yeah, that would be trouble, all right. Okay.
Show 'em how it's done. Yeah. Something here that works. Not exactly what I was going for.
Hey, that wasn't that bad.
I got this.
Watch and learn.
I see where... You going with that? There. What did I tell you? I got it. I got this. Consider it done.
Still no sign of Benwith. How much longer are we going to wait? The wet's already ruined half our take. Get your stinking construct under control. It's been hanging out by the crystal. I swear it's been giving me the eye. Okay. So that's not our guy. So yeah, we're not the first ones that's been in here. Scroll of withdrawal. Lockpick. Cuttlefish! Rusted copper construct. Some abilities specify that they can interrupt a character. When a character is hit with an interrupt, their current action is lost, along with any resources, including quick items they were using. Interrupts can be blocked by concentration. If a character with concentration is hit by an interrupt, they lose their concentration but are not interrupted.
What's a metal killing machine doing out here by himself in a cave anyway? Collecting his thoughts? Consider it done. A dozen paintings, mildewed and worthless, line the wall amongst broken bottles and rotting wood. Looks about as good as it smells at this point. That's gonna be hard to clean.
We got a ring of minor protection.
And what do we...
Damn pirates! Andra, take your scabrous souls for fish food.
Traps and other hidden items can be discovered while exploring. A character's ability to discover hidden traps is tied to their perception and their ability to disarm a detected trap based on their mechanics skill. Any character, including enemies, can trigger a trap. Once activated, traps cause injuries to any character hit by them.
Bayadol, still alive and calling everybody scabrous, I see. Well, now we got a bosun. Just need a boat.
Adair! And I see that corpse we've been carting around is looking a slight more sprightly. Good to see the two of you, but mind your step. I've got myself in a spot of trouble. Been trying to find a way past without losing a leg or getting a face full of poison.
I can take care of a few traps.
Well, they sting something fierce, so mind yourself.
I got this something. Consider, and what do we have here? Watch and learn. I got this. I got this. Consider it done. Watch and learn. Isn't this something? Give me a real challenge.
Ooh. Okay.
Ah, bless you, Lord. Would have been a sorry way to go. Caught up in a dead pirate's trap. It's just bats and stinking corpses in this cave. You find anyone else?
He gingerly sets his weight on his injured foot, grimacing. We've got a campfire going on the beach.
Then I'll head that way myself. See you on the beach, Captain.
Something's wanting to kill us and we don't see it first. Ah, there you are.
Show 'em how it... Yeah!
Do it every day. I got this. I got this.
Okay, and then they slowly heal up like that. So, okay, gotcha.
Give me a real challenge.
And there's that spider that we killed, so we haven't gone up that way yet. We already went that way.
Hey, watch it.
Oh, come on! I'll teach you a lesson! Yeah!
Where
Defeating creatures will progressively unlock their entries in the bestiary. As you unlock more information in the bestiary, you will be rewarded with more experience.
Consider it done.
Ooh. Your character has earned enough experience to advance a level. Click the plus icon on the portrait to level up. Okay, so 1 active skill point, 1 passive skill point, and 1 new ability for Cypher. Put 1 more on my mechanics, I think, before I start adding to other stuff. And give myself another insight, I believe. Or right now, it's... choose an ability. Oh dear. You can use Empower on your abilities or yourself. Once per fight, you can use Empower on an active ability to make it much stronger. Alternatively, you can use Empower on yourself to replenish a portion of your ability resources. To empower an ability, click on your action bar and then select the ability you want to empower. To restore resources, click and then click your character's portrait on the selection circle. You can only empower once per fight and a limited number of times between resting at an end or using food or drink while resting at other locations will restore all of a character's empower points. Okay, what do we do for Eater now? Yeah, gonna do that.
Didn't think death would be so boring.
I'll boil up some water. We'll have a spy at that leg of yours.
Should have seen me with that barrel, Angrim. I showed it who's boss.
Magrin gives some of us simpler trials than others.
I suppose we are lucky to have found land.
What a mess. We'll be needing help getting the Defiant off the ground.
What do you know? Do you know anything about this place?
We got turned around in that storm. Hard to be sure just where we are.
What do we do now?
Not much chance of us moving the ship on our own, but we're in charted waters. There's bound to be a town nearby.
They warned me strange things would come following you, Watcher.
I think that's Travis, by the way.
Theodul said you had to bail him out of trouble. Diverus? Was he crying? You can tell me.
Oh, quiet! You were under a damned barrel.
I think that other one might be Taliesin. This is me making an assumption that the party themselves, that's going to be my party, and thus that's probably the critical role group voicing the entire party. But, you know.
Watch and learn.
No, this bridge is where I'm... Clicking on the world map will have your party navigate to a selected location. To toggle on and off the camera automatically following the party, click the follow camera. In the distance, you see a simple wagon. The angle at which it rests on the road, one side jutting above the other, suggests that it has been damaged or disabled. Even from your vantage, you can make out Kilth milling around it. Sneak closer and observe. Made the roll. As you near the cart, you make out a group of Redecan pilgrims in rough spun linens and cottons. A single draft horse stamps the ground impatiently as two of the pilgrims argue over the right front wheel, which seems hopelessly stuck in the mud. Approach openly. One of the pilgrims notices you. He steps back, draws the attention of the others, and a man in well-worn gabardine steps forward. The weight of deep concern hangs on his face. Did the dreams bring you here as well? The other pilgrims look to you with a mix of apprehension and hope. Dreams? We are farmers, come from Redcross to work the colony fields here. We're believers all to the one in the light of Eothas. The other pilgrims nod fervently in agreement. A woman with a smiling baby lifts the infant's hand to wave. We've been having dreams. 3 stars sailing throughout the sky, piercing the black of a storm cloud. Figured it must be him, Eothas, calling to us. So we came here to the place we saw in our dreams. The pilgrims look around, matching their sleeping memory to the present. We saw the giant pass with 3 stars on his brow, but... He sighs and gestures to the wagon stuck in the mud. Sad to say we could not follow him. Wheels stuck as it gets. None of us are strong enough to lift the corner up to get something under it. More than one of us tries, and we get in each other's way. The other pilgrims nod and stretch, suddenly remembering their aching bodies. Inspect the wagon. Let me take a look. A brief inspection reveals that the wagon is undamaged, but the wheel is stuck fast in mud. We have some wood, the old man says as he gestures to the back of the wagon. If we can get the wheel up, we can slide that beneath it. Inside the wagon, you see several planks of wood. A small box of valuables sits to the side. One of the younger Dawnstars looks at you, eyes wide. Reckon you can lift it? Yeah, I'm gonna let Eater take this one. Press this button in the lower center of the screen or use the C key to bring up the character sheet. Select the reputation tab to view your character's earned faction and community reputations. Factions will display how much positive reputation you have with a blue bar and how much negative reputation with a red bar. Eaters squares themselves to the wagon's corner, squats deep, and then rests the wheel up from the mud with a grunt. A young Dawnstar stands in shock for a moment, reacting just in time to thrust a thick board beneath the wheel. It takes the better part of an hour to lay down a safe path for the wagon to roll free of the mud. The laboring Dawnstars glisten with sweat, but laugh happily as they sing songs of praise. So he rolled a 15. Songs of praise for Eothas. Results. 2 hours passed. Smiling, their leader presses a small pouch of coins into your hand. We appreciate the help. Without you, who knows how long we've been stranded out here. They begin to prepare their wagons as you take your leave. You have gained an item. 15 plus silver finning. The item was put into your stash. The old man calls out to you as you go. Take care of yourself and your soul, traveler. Whether you came for Eothas or not, We know in our hearts that he has come for us. The trail before you seems thoroughly disturbed by erratic tracks and sparse plants to immediate sides of the path roughly mangled. A struggle may have occurred here. Search the area. It takes you only a few moments to make sense of the chaos. No blood splatters suggest it was not a fight, and you can easily identify the clawed prints of Zerkips. The tracks seem recent. A dry and ropey vine has been pulled taut across the path and inexpertly covered in dirt. Beyond, a group of robed figures cringe and cower at a nearby river's bend. Each is frozen in place, ashen and gray like statues crafted of soot. Disarm the trap. That'd be me. Though the trap seems simple, you take care as you disarm it and collect its component parts. You have gained an item, Corrosive Cloud Trap. The item was put into your stash. Continue cautiously forward. You continue down the path without further interference. Oh, hello, you.
Consider it done. Sure. Watch and learn.
The generator occasionally vibrates wildly, and you can faintly hear the sound of metal grinding on metal
I got this.
from somewhere inside the machinery.
Watch it.
Woo! Hello there.
I'll teach you a lesson. How it's done. I'll be fine. Take that. I'll teach you a lesson. How it's done.
Triggering a trap or being knocked out during combat will apply an injury to that character. Injuries remain on a character until they use food or drink while resting or by resting at an inn. Press the fire button in the lower center of the screen or use the R key to rest.
What do you need?
Yeah. Be right there. And what do we have here? Consider it done. Isn't this something? Give me a real challenge.
Would you look at that? I got it. Here we go. This thing isn't doing the job.
Not my best moment.
I need some help here. Hey, we had some good times.
Isn't this something? I got this.
You see that?
Can't make a dent.
Show him how it's
Not doing anything, is it? Okay, fine.
That's how it's
I'll teach you.
I'll get the next one.
Yeah.
Now, where were we? Absolutely.
Need something stronger.
Gotta have something here that works.
Show him how it's done.
Can't make a dent.
Of course it can't.
Leave a scar. I just have to try something else.
Yeah, this thing clearly is out of my range.
Can't make a dent. Need something stronger.
Sure.
Watch and learn. Consider it done. I got this. You'll never know I'm here. And what do we have here? Give me a real challenge.
Not what I wanted me to do, but okay.
Can't make a dent.
Here we go.
This thing isn't doing the job.
I'll teach you a lesson.
something stronger.
Just have to try something else.
Yeah.
Not exactly what I'm looking for.
Sure.
I got this. We got this. And what do we have here? Isn't this something? Give me a real challenge. Watch and learn. Consider it done.
We'll finish exploring this training hall and then we'll call it for the night. We got a little bit into this game. I like it. Whatever Odyssey did to that last batch, it's working. We're seeing much higher concentrations of the essence of harvested Adra. Only wish he'd let the rest of us in on his methods. One of our Huna workers got the jolt of his life transporting one of the crates. And that's on top of the one that got blinded last week. All Odyssey has to say for himself is that they were careless. I'm the one paying these islanders' families out of my own pocket. At this rate, I'm going to be the one idiot who comes out of this whole enterprise with less money than I started. S.
I got this. More food.
Ferris, take this coin out to the Huna village and see what you can see if you can round up anyone willing to do a week's digging pay. Try the low caste types first, the Remparo. They're used to hard work and they don't ask for more than their share. One of the workers dug up this old Adra medallion in the sublevel yesterday. I doubt Idrissi would be interested in it, and besides, it looks like it's worth something. Might be nice to surprise the crew with a bonus.
Consider it done.
This is the other thing about playing these games. You are such a thief whenever you do this stuff. Also, where are all the workers That's what I'm worried about. I'm almost worried these statues aren't part of the dig, if you catch my drift.
Give me a real challenge.
New power level unlocked. Choose 2 abilities. Yay!
I got this. Watch and learn.
Several men and women appear to be locked inside a cage of some kind. They're little more than silhouettes behind glass and pointing and gesturing excitedly.
Are the beasts gone?
One woman comes up to the door, hands pressed against the glass. I took care of the creatures. The woman turns away to a muffled exchange with the others. She then pulls something by the door and you hear a rattling clank.
Perfecto! We are saved!
A youngish man with bright eyes and a twitching smile claps his hands as he steps out of the cage. The woman next to him, however, remains sober.
Governor Clario must have sent you to rescue us, no? But you do not look like one of his guards.
She rises to the balls of her feet and peers behind you, as if searching for someone else. She looks to be only midway into her 30s, although the serious set of her mouth makes her seem older. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. An older woman hawks an impressive glob of phlegm onto the ground and kicks a clump of dirt over it.
I told you the governor does not care about us. This is all about profit. For him, the rest of the Valiant.
Caloste!
She silences the others with a sharp look. She turns back to you with a resigned breath.
You are here, and that is what matters.
What are you all doing?
Hiding, of course.
The corners of his mouth spasm. The cranky old woman next to him sighs and lays a comforting hand on his arm.
We were taking measurements of the luminous Adra when something strange began happening.
Fascinating. The pillar started to dim, the ground shook, and our instruments showed unusual variations.
That's when those of us with a grain of sense got into the cage.
She glares at the excitable young man, but he doesn't seem to notice. What happened then?
The Colossus. Some kind of construct made from luminous Adra. It passed through the arena toward the pillar.
Barissa closes her eyes.
Moments later, the pillar went dark, and all of our colleagues outside the cage froze. Like they turned to ash.
She goes quiet, her hands clasped in front of her. The young man leans forward, his eyes wide with a perverse kind of excitement.
That is when the panthers and worms showed up. Started going through the tents. It was awful, but Engfirth...
Barenza shoots him a furious look, and he falls silent again. A confused and slightly injured expression crinkles his face.
Some of our people are still missing in the ruins, including Oderisi, our lead researcher. It is possible he managed to hide.
Her furrowed brow, however, suggests otherwise. I should go look.
Most of the ruins are that way, through the door next to the ramp.
She points to a dark entrance in the eastern wall of the arena.
If you are going below, you should take Engfirth with you.
She turns and motions to someone to the front of the group.
Hey, he looks just like...
Itter cuts himself off for reasons not yet apparent. His jaw hangs slack. A sharp-featured elf comes to the fore. As he meets your eyes, he gives you a knowing nod. He's earned a few new scars, but you recognize Algoth Corsair all the same. He taps a finger to his lips, a sly smile working its way across them.
Engfirth knows a great many spells. At first, he even cast fire to chase away the panthers.
Until the flames nearly caught one of the tents.
Oh?
We then decided it would be better to preserve our remaining supplies, in case we ever got out.
I do not expect the ruins will be any safer. Many of our people remained behind, which has surely attracted more wildlife. It would be prudent to take help, as long as Engfirth is willing to go.
She looks quietly to Eloth. He nods.
I would be happy to assist.
He holds your gaze with wide, expectant eyes. What else can you tell me about Engfirth?
I don't think that's really...
He has only been with us a few weeks. He is inexperienced, but he came with a glowing recommendation from an academy in Selona.
That is surely a generous overstatement.
Eloth chuckles uncomfortably and gives you a meaningful look. A glowing recommendation, you say?
Surely we don't have time for...
A pupil of unnatural talent is the phrase I recall. It seems he was loved and regarded by almost all his instructors, though misunderstood, I gathered, by his fellow students.
I cannot imagine why.
The old animancer rolls her eyes.
Really, this helpful stranger surely has more important things to worry about.
The tips of Eloth's ears are bright red. He glares at you. I think I've heard enough.
If that's all, then perhaps we should be off.
I would gladly accept his help. He gives you a quick smile.
Careful. I'm Miko.
She gives Alas' hand a quick squeeze before backing away.
I shall try.
Aleph nods to her before leading you a short distance away.
Thank you for your discretion. I'm certain you have many questions, but I fear they must wait until we're off this island.
He cast a regretful glance back at Vanessa and the Animancers. At least tell me what you've been doing here.
That's a rather long story. The short version, for now, is that I'm gathering information on local animancy operations.
He looks you up and down.
But I could ask you the same.
I'm following the Adra Colossus.
Well, there's never a dull moment with you. We can speak more freely once we're away from Port Mage. For now, let us find Odorisi.
Choose the single class or multi-class for this companion. Wizard, Battle Mage, Spellblade. We're going with Wizard.
Sure.
And this seems a good spot to end it. Although, that pretty. Let's see here. So, we'll go ahead and pause that. Because I don't know what might happen in the background while I'm doing this. If you guys want to follow all of our other Let's Plays, go to tscn.tv/play. And until next time, play on and see you guys. And there we are. That's our first play of Deadfire, so that's quite nice. I rather enjoyed that.